You know what time it is. It's your favorite social media coach, Melle Howard. Coach Melle in the building with your favorite cool uncle, Uncle Flood, and they're going to take you inside the game. So sit down, relax, get your favorite beverage, and hang as they take you across the SWAT, especially in Southern University football and professional sports as they talk Monday Night Football here on Inside the Game. All right, let's get into it.
Oh, you muted up? I just gave you credit for knowing how to work your internet.
It doesn't show me muted, though. It doesn't. And can you hear me?
I can hear you just well. Fine, okay, good lighting. Right. We see you. We see you. This is all well. It's good to go.
Good to know. What's going on?
So, well, recovering from snow week. So,
yes, right.
It was a beautiful time in snow week. But welcome, guys. We are at season 2, episode 2 of Inside the Game with Coach Melle and Uncle Flood. A lot of things happening over the week as it relates to basketball. We have a Super Bowl. We'll talk about that foolishness later. But yeah, just really excited about season 2, episode 2. So yeah, what are your thoughts about the week, your snow week, Uncle?
Big snow week, more snow than I ever expected. You know, I've been around for a while, and a dusting of snow, an inch or two here. But as it started to come down, and I realized we were going to get 8, 9 inches, 10 inches of snow, I was just like, wow. I was just looking out of the window like, wow, it is really snowing. And then when I saw the people classified as a blizzard for a moment, I was like, okay, we're really getting a real winter now, and we might want to investigate that climate change thing now and realize that it's really real.
Well, I mean, I think that was the most beautiful part about it was like for all of the climate change naysayers. What else do you need to know? 10 inches of snow in Louisiana, and not just one pocket of Louisiana, like from Lafayette to Street, like all over Louisiana.
Well, you know what they cling on to the term global warming. Like they think everything it's supposed to get hotter. Well, that's not what climate change is. Global warming, that means that in some places it gets hotter, in other places they get strange weather that they don't usually have, like 10 inches of snow in South Louisiana.
Yeah, I loved it. I appreciate it. I didn't like the aftermath. It's still, traffic still doesn't feel like it's gotten itself back to normal yet.
Yes, the closing of the roads and all of that.
Yeah, but other than that, I think we're expecting another spill of it on February the 6th. So I'm looking forward to something similar, maybe, possibly, potentially.
I keep hearing that, but the weather people are like, what are y'all talking about?
What are we talking about? Well, I hope we're right and they're wrong, because that was a beautiful time, and I enjoyed the time off. It almost felt like COVID again, like we were back in COVID times, and you could just kind of chill out, do a little something, and then just kind of So it was great.
Yes.
What's up, Johnny? Welcome to the show tonight. We appreciate you for being a loyal supporter and always popping in on us. Appreciate that. But most pressing thing that happened over the weekend, we'll talk Jaguar basketball and all that. We have a Super Bowl. The Kansas City Chiefs are playing against the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm just going to go ahead and say I do not like the Super Bowl one bit. I don't like the Chiefs because they have beaten my beloved 49ers out of a chance to hold the Lombardi Trophy twice.
Yes, they have.
And I don't like the Eagles because the last time the 49ers went to the NFC Championship, their fans were the most ridiculous group of fans. People talk about hostile environments. There is no hostile environment like Philadelphia. I'm talking when I got off the train, they were throwing hamburger patties and eggs at us. Like, it was terrible.
Wow. Not surprised. That's Philly fan to a T. I've never heard anything else. I've experienced it in small doses myself, but Philly is not one of my favorite cities. I would put Philly and Boston right there together. So, their fans are really not good fans. I'll keep it PG.
Yes.
So we can get our YouTube views. I'll keep it PG. But yeah, Philly and Boston fans are about the same to me. They're both trash, as my nephew would say.
I mean, it's like, it's one thing to like support your team, talk noise about your team, but they're like not only trash, but it's also like people who are not even at the games. Like, it's just a lot of things that go on when you go to a game in Philly. And I vowed that even if my team goes again, I will not be returning back to Philadelphia. I love players. I love Devontae Smith. I love
Yes.
Jalen Hurts. I love Saquon Barkley. So I want them to win the Super Bowl, but I would.
The city of Philadelphia does not deserve them.
The city does not deserve it. They don't deserve them, or they don't deserve the Super Bowl.
No, they don't.
But on the other hand, we have my homies going back to another Super Bowl. What are your thoughts on? That's all I got because I
think that Mahomes says it all, man. This Kansas City team has so many holes in it in terms. They're not a complete team, but Mahomes covers so many of their problems. So he's basically put this team on his back and carried them. I mean, they play good defense. They do. They are a very good defensive team. Not a great defensive team, but a very good defensive team. But man, Mahomes just covers such a myriad of weaknesses for them, and he makes them the Super Bowl team that they are. He literally carries them, and it's not much more you can say about the man that hasn't already been said.
Well, so there are two. Yes, Mahomes, I think, is a great player. I think that he continues to find ways that it feels like there's all the things up against him. But I do believe I used to didn't believe this conspiracy about the NFLs and referees and when it comes down to close games in Kansas City. So we do have a play that occurred during the game last week, and I want to see if we can play that clip and then talk about what happened and then what we saw on these particular clips. So I think the first clip we have should be booted up and ready to go.
Throw it to Knox. Ooh, he falls so close. Gonna depend on the spot here. They're going to mark him just shy.
That spot off. That's a bad spot right there.
We're going to have another fourth and short scenario. Allen back at the line of scrimmage. And I think he got it. It depends on the spot. He fell backwards. He was pushed backwards, but I think his forward progress got him there. They got another bad spot. That's a good angle. He's right on the line, I think, but then Chris Jones stands in the way. You can't get a good look on it. That angle looks like he gets over the line, at least right to the line, and they marked him behind the line. Yeah, they have one ref marking that Allen got across, and they got the other ref marking he doesn't. So why does the ref, who can't see the ball, make the call? Oh, God. Oh, fuck. And then they review it, and I believe on review, they don't think he got to the line, which is wrong. They should have given it to him. They should have given it to him. Fuck. 2nd and 3.
Let's cut it right there.
Come on, Bills. Just make...
Listen, I mean, give me your thoughts.
I thought the second play was a much closer play. And this is what I'll say about the officials. I know people always talk about the conspiracy theories. On that play with Josh Allen, the ball really was determined by which hand he had the ball in. And if he had the ball in his right hand, he didn't make the line. If he had it in his left hand, he made the line. If you notice, both officials ended up coming in and lining up. On the other play, I've noticed that a lot in the NFL, that a lot of times what we think is forward progress, officials don't mark as forward progress. They mark it where the person's knee where the knee went down. I don't know. I've looked up the rule. I always thought it was forward progress, but they don't seem to be doing that. And I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's conspiracy or if that's some kind of rule change that they talked about in-house.
Well, see, so two things. So the first thing I'll talk about, I'll respond to your forward progress thing. I'm too in the spirit of like sometimes they call things forward progress that we don't necessarily agree or see. But very later on in the game, when the running back from Kansas City made the touchdown, it literally was the same kind of effort. Like he caught the same second effort, the same forward progress that allowed him to get a touchdown. They called it a touchdown. I think the bigger play though was the Josh Allen play, because if they convert that 4th down right there with the ball, with a 1-point lead, I think you're looking at a totally different game. So I saw a 1st down both times, and shame on the referees. The Bills deserve to be in the Super Bowl. They deserve to win the Super Bowl, even in New Orleans. Like, they deserve to be there. And I feel like if Josh Allen is called 1st down, we know Patrick Mahomes is magical. You can never count him out of the game, but you're looking at a totally different game if that happens. But here we are again.
They're the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills. Ice Cube said it best. Shake that food and pass me the pill. I'll slam dunk check like Shaquille O'Neal. I definitely won't choke like the Buffalo Bills. So,
Well, that's before my time.
Yes, that's a little bit before your time, but the Bills are known. The tight end has a chance to make a play. Josh runs all over, gets the ball in the air. Tight end has a chance to make a play. He drops the ball. We saw that 2 weeks in a row with Lamar, now with Josh Allen. So I mean, they're the Buffalo Bills.
That stinks. That sucks. Shout out to Bills Mafia who watches us on YouTube. A couple of friends who are Bills Mafia. I was rooting for y'all. The Eagles can, I won't say the word, but not fly, Eagles fly. Bard said reminds him of Skelton at Alcorn in 19. Bard,
Yes.
Please don't bring back that level of PTSD. I too believe that Skelton had a first down that was stolen.
Yes, everybody believed that Skelton had a first down. Was it Skelton? Was it Skelton, or wasn't it another case in Alcorn?
We've had
no, it was it was Jared. What's the running back? Yes.
What's Jared's last name? Exactly, but and also Skelton. In the Skelton one, there's where people go and they actually have the line drawn out, and the ball is like on Swan Street, and they talk about he stopped at the hump. It's like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, it's really, not the same. So it's just unfortunate that. But shout out to the Bills for making this round. Shout out to the Commanders and Jaden Daniels for a hell of a season. Jerry Sims, Jaden Daniels for a hell of a season as it relates to that. So I mean, what are you? I mean, we have a Super Bowl. What's your predictions?
For me, I would never go against Kansas City and Mahomes. Never, ever, ever bet against them.
I agree, but I'm hoping that the Eagles can pull it off. And let me say, one of the storylines that we'll hear a lot about this weekend is the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce storyline. I am not in the majority of this opinion, but I absolutely love the story. Taylor Swift is just so happens to be a superstar, but she is a superstar who's supporting her boyfriend in ways that everybody else would if that was the person you were dating. I mean,
I love them as a couple. They look very happy. I love the fact that she's a person. I just don't want it to be a storyline. Can the story go away now? Can they just look like? Do they have to flash to the box like 15 times a game to get her reaction? They stopped doing that so much. I just hope that doesn't become a storyline because this is actually year 2.
Yeah.
So maybe it won't be the storyline this year. That's what I'm hoping.
And she's not traveling to Egypt or wherever and have to make a flight back to Vegas to the Super Bowl and the Vegas traffic and all of that. So I get it. But yeah, I like it. I love stories like that. That's just me. So I don't like either team. So I need to think about all of the other stories that I can listen to and think about about the game. So I
would not bet against Kansas City, but I would not be surprised that if Philadelphia wins, especially if Jalen Hurts plays like he played in the championship game, in the NFC championship game. If he's that efficient in that game, Philadelphia with their defense and an efficient offense, they're hard to beat. It's just hard to bet against Mahomes.
Yeah, very hard to bet against Mahomes. No, I mean, especially a controlled environment like the Superdome. He's going to Mahomes. So hopefully Jalen. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. And I think the Eagles might find a way to get it by a field goal. At least that's maybe what I'm hoping for. But Mahomes can't bet against.
Since neither team is named the 49ers, I don't really have a vested interest in it in terms of my heart. I love good football, and like I said, I think it'd be a good game. And I would not be surprised if the Eagles pulled it out. I just can't go against Mahomes.
Yeah, you bring up you have the perfect transitions every time. So with that, our last conversation around NFL is coaching. So every team in the NFL now has a coach except for one. If you had to take a guess on who is that one team?
Yes, it would be the New Orleans Saints.
What is going on with the Saints, Unc, and what is happening with their coaching search, and what do you think is it going to take for them to get someone in?
I can't help, at this point. You can't help but believe that they're one of the coaches that they want to hire as part of the Super Bowl. I mean, that's the only thing that it could be. That it's Kellen, the coordinator for the Eagles.
Yeah, it's been some crazy stories though that come out of that camp as it relates to this coaching search. With the conversations around Mickey Loomis and the GM spot, and coaches like not wanting to work in that same arena. The conversations around just the front office, and typically, although the Saints have had salary cap issues and all of that, you haven't really heard of this influx of fighting in the culture internally. But it seems like there's a lot of varying differences, especially with bringing in a new coach. So, to see what is happening with that.
You have to think about it, and I think the rumor kind of started with Aaron Glenn, with him, not wanting to work with Mickey. But you have to think about it. Most of those people who have had those issues are people who have previously been in the Saints organization or have had close ties with the Saints organization. Aaron Glenn, Joe Brady, people like that, they have ties with Sean Payton. They've been around in the Saints organization. Those are the people who you hear and say that, hey, we don't want to necessarily work with Mickey Loomis. I need to have more control, or, Mickey needs to go. Those are the people who have intimate knowledge of the Saints organization. And they're looking at it and say, hey, Mickey has been there too long. He has too much power, and I don't want to work with him. I guess a lot of people feel like they can't win with Mickey Loomis there as a GM.
Yeah, I think, just learn from, our team as the 49ers, me and Unc shared that team. And I think that the relationship between the GM and the relationship between the GM and the coach is vital to
has to be trust.
Using successful organizations. And speaking of the Cowboys, what do you think about their pick?
I don't know. I just think they'll never hire somebody that will be bigger than Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
And I think that's the understanding when you hire the Schottenheimer. You hire somebody who realizes, hey, I just want to coach. I'm just here to coach football. I'm not here to be the GM or anything else. I'm just going to coach football, and that's what he's there to do. And that's who the Cowboys are. That's the kind of person they want coaching their team. So I think he probably was the best person that fits the mold that they want in the Cowboys organization.
Yeah, that's what I think. And it was crazy when they were even the talks about Dion. Jerry will never hire anybody that has the potential to be bigger than Jerry, and Dion would have outshined. You wouldn't have heard a word about Jerry Jones had they hired Deion Sanders as their coach, or any other coach that is actually going to take the Cowboys to a winning caliber level. Yeah. It's unfortunate, and I think I tell my Cowboy friends all the time, you won't see success again until the Lord calls Jerry home, and that's just real, because he's not going anywhere. As long as he is healthy and able to scoot around that stadium, he ain't going nowhere. So
Jarrell Jones.
You said that. I still know that his name is Jarrell. Why is his name Jarrell? He did right to change it to Jerry, because Jarrell does not fit.
Yes, Jarrell.
And in other coaching news, the 49ers are bringing back Robert Saleh as a defensive coordinator. What are your thoughts on that?
Great move. I think you bring back a certain kind of swagger. I think you bring back somebody that has the authority to be able to say, look, guys, I've been here before. I know how to get it done. A person who will be respected in the locker room. And I think he fits the culture, obviously, of the 49ers.
Yeah, I think so too. I believe that he fits the culture of the 49ers. I believe he fits the mold of what the energy that we have and all of that. And I think he's going to be a great addition. And I think that we're going to return to dominance very soon, especially on the defense side of the ball, which has been our Achilles heel so far. So
yes,
looking forward to that. So transitioning over. So we started with the NFL segment today because obviously the Super Bowl is coming up. Now, transitioning into Southern, we know that we're in basketball.
Well, I'll tell you what, before we transition to Southern, let's do this.
Yep,
let's talk about Jarvis Antoine and the Antoine Law Firm. I'm going to take you back and bring us professional. We're going to talk about Jarvis Antoine and the Antoine Law Firm, a criminal, personal injury, and family law firm. 225-383-7800. It's the Antoine Law Firm. Give Jarvis a call. He'll take care of you. He's a special sponsor here of Inside the Game. That's 637 St. Ferdinand Street, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. 225-383-7800. The Antoine Law Firm. Give them a call.
Appreciate you always keeping us and getting our bills paid. So thank you to the Antoine Law Firm.
I'm gonna take us to a break, and we're gonna come back out and transition into Southern University.
Yes, I love that. And while we're here, well, we can do that at the end. But yeah, shout out to the Antoine Law Firm. Shout out to all of our sponsors. Again, we're here. We're back for season 2 because of you guys, and so we're excited to partner with you guys. So in that note, we are in basketball season. Our Jaguars are doing what we want every other team on our campus to do, and the Jaguars remain in first place after a very impressive win at Arkansas Pine Bluff, getting ready to tip off again tonight against Mississippi Valley.
No, so the women have already tipped off. They were up by about 10 the last one, right before we came on air.
Yep. So what are your thoughts on the basketball program? We talked a little bit about them last week, but basketball team.
I like what I'm seeing on both sides. I like what the women are doing. They're playing well. They're finding ways to win games. I think the women's team, I think they have, even as well as they're playing, they have room to improve. You think about it, they were about 15 points on Texas Southern, who's number 1 in the conference, in the fourth quarter, and gave up a lead. That's their only loss. They have opportunity to even get better. The men's team, with everything that they've been through, with I think 2 or 3 players out with injuries, potential starters out with injuries, they are still finding a way to win basketball games and win in a dominant fashion. I'm very impressed. I just want them to continue it and finish the season out, play the whole entire season the way that they're playing now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super impressed with what's happening with both women and men's basketball. To your point, sustain it. I think for us as fans, like my call to you guys would be to go out and support the team. They deserve it. They are doing what we have called for people to do. And it's not just that they're winning, but it's also a quality product to watch. I truly enjoy watching our men's basketball specifically, but women as well. And it's been an impressive product. I mean, right now, like the bracketology reports have them not even playing in play-in games, and that goes to the caliber of like out of conference wins, like all the things that we say. We don't want to be just swag good. We want to, compete all across the board. Like, I mean, they're on the verge right now. If they compete and win the regular season swag, like of getting an NIT bid, like just all the things that we say that we want, even if they don't go to the big dance, which I hope that we win everything, go to big dance. But I mean, it's been an impressive run for the team. So our next home game is Saturday, February 1st. Against Alcorn. Go out, support. We also have a home game swing February 1st in 3rd. So we play Jackson State on Monday, Alcorn on Saturday.
That's for the men. The women actually play Jackson State on the Thursday, the 30th, I think. They play Jackson State at home also.
You sure? I thought they was both playing on Monday. Let me look at this schedule.
Yeah, look at it again, because now if it did, it's because they reported it wrong.
Yep. These are the games we have going on tonight, but I think you're right, because we have no game on the schedule. And I was looking forward. I thought that I was going to see. Oh, well, I'm gonna have to switch some stuff up on my schedule. I'm going to LA. Shout out to the band. The band is going to LA this weekend to compete in the Honda Battle of the Band. So I'll be going to LA to check out the band. But I thought the women played Jackson State on Monday, so I was gonna fly back straight to. I got to be there 6:30 on Thursday. Thank you. I was going to LSU game, so now I can't anymore. I got to go see Southern and Jackson State. Like that's what
right. Yeah. But by the way, there, Edwin and Vark are saying Southern's women are up 36-24 over Mississippi Valley at halftime.
Yep, I see that score. Yep, and Unc is 100% correct. I hate that the SWAC has done this, but I understand why they've done this. But it messes my scheduling games. I mean, I had this mapped out. I was like, okay, the boys play at this time. I mean, the girls gonna play at this time. I can get back. Well, Thursday at 6:30, we play Jackson State. So y'all know what that means. Be in the meeting though, because I'm.
That's right. Be there.
I was gonna be at the PVAC, but I'm not gonna be at the PVAC no more. I'm gonna be at the meeting.
Pack it out so you can boo Jackson State.
I mean,
create some home court advantage.
And I think it's just from an attendance standpoint, as it relates to SWAC basketball, I think that the women get the short end of the stick when you don't play the men at the same time, because typically at least people will start filing in for the second half of the women's game. So I don't like that they did that. I know they had to, but yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it was a forced play.
Vark is a SWAC historian / commissioner. He said this will be the last year they'll be committed to this schedule for one season. Great, because I think that they're going to realize very soon that this is not it. At least I don't think so.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's basketball. What else do we have? The opening pitch gala for baseball is on January the 31st, which is this weekend. So if you did not get your tickets to that, I think they said it was sold out, but there's still some opportunities to purchase tickets. We also have the gala was announced today. So the gala will be
the athletic gala.
August the 16th. So looking forward to that. And we talked last week, Unc, about the home football schedule. So I've heard some rumor mill, and I just want to get your insights, your perspective. And then folks in the comments, feel free to chime in. So the rumor mill states that our first game, obviously we know, is in Atlanta against North Carolina Central.
Right.
But there is some rumor mill that we are potentially, or there are some talks in the talks about us playing in Miami in the Orange Blossom Classic. What are your thoughts about us going to Miami for the Orange Blossom Classic?
Being that I'm a former resident of South Florida, I'm there. I am all for it. Is that opposed to us going to Fresno to play, or will we still have to go to Fresno?
We will still have to go to Fresno. Fresno is September the 13th. It is being rumored that we would go to Miami September the 6th. If the streets are correct. Now that's just if the streets are correct.
And who would be our
opponent? Let me tell you.
I'm with it. And who would Jackson State be our opponent, or would FAMU be the opponent?
No, so we play Jackson State September 27th at home.
Yes, that's what I thought. Yeah.
So there hasn't been, and we play FAMU on the 25th at home. So it'll be another team. This is what I've heard in the streets. I've heard Howard. I've heard. Look at me and Barb. We on the same page with this street committee. But I've heard Howard in Miami, September 6th. So Jaguar Nation. If that happens, you heard it here first. I
gotta say, that's right. You heard it on Inside the Game. That's why they call us Inside the Game, baby.
Inside the Game. So I'm hoping, but apparently the reason that we were not able to release the away schedules is because there are some contractual obligations and agreements that folks are trying to solidify before they reach. I mean, and that makes a lot of sense because they only released the home schedule. And we know that our other away games, so we have to go to Alcorn this year. I think we go to UAPB.
We go to Valley.
We go to Valley. Why? Now that's another thing I've heard. That we this is our year to go to Valley.
Yeah, Valley has already released their home schedule, and
we on now.
Yes.
Oh no, I didn't see that. What is that game?
Yes, I want to. Is it October? I have it in my phone.
I do not want to go to Ilabena.
Yes, they have released their home schedule, and we are on it.
Oh, nobody told me that one.
Yes,
you ain't put that in the group message that we had to go to Ilabena.
Yes, I will send that to you, the date on that, because I have it in my phone.
Brittany, you watching? You pick me up because I can't drive to Ilabena. I just can't go to Ilabena. I went to Ilabena the last time we played in Mississippi Valley. It was on that Thursday night. When the game was on ESPN, they had like 10 people in the crowd, and it was 10 people from our bus. And we rode the bus to Ilabena, and it was insane. And so that's yeah. But I mean, going to Ilabena is great, I guess. I mean, I actually hate it. I hate it. I hate going to Ilabena. The mosquitoes are too big. It's country. Nobody really goes to that game. But anyway,
who knows? I mean, speaking of Valley, they just announced that they hired Terrell Buckley, former NFL cornerback, former NFL coach, UFL coach, as their head coach. So they went for quote unquote the splash hire, the former NFL guy at Valley. So we have to see what's happening, as the man JC Police used to say. That's a little bit before your time, but
I know JC Police. Don't do that. I know him. I know JC.
JC Police used to say, "We're sitting high above Magnolia Stadium here in itty bitty Ilabena, Mississippi, as the Jaguars take on the Delta Devils of Mississippi Valley State University."
Brittany has a good question. She asks, "What is the closest airport to itty bitty Mississippi?" And I don't know. What is Jackson?
Memphis.
Oh, Memphis. Okay.
Memphis is like 70 miles.
I got it.
65, 70 miles.
I am too done. I was arguing somebody down. I was like, no, y'all. Valley not about to roll back on our schedule. We're not going to Itabena. Like, we're not doing that. And these people are on our schedule in October.
In October, if I remember correctly, they're definitely on the schedule because they released their home schedule.
Well, you heard it here first. The quarterback club is going to have a bus because I ain't driving. I'm not driving today. We will have a bus. So, yes, let me just go ahead. That's one of our bus trips. We are going to Itabena on a bus. And so let's come all and join the quarterback club. No, Brittany, we're going on the bus. So you would fly to Baton Rouge and I'm picking you up. But because I'm not going to Fresno. I'm not going to Fresno this year, but I plan to go everywhere else. And I guess itty bitty it is. That was the laugh that I needed for the night, huh? I appreciate it.
Yes, well, I'm glad I can help.
I had no clue. So Itabena, Alcorn, UAPB, and hopefully Miami. I think that's a great schedule, though. I actually think we have a good quality schedule.
Well, for someone like you who loves to travel and loves to get out on the road, it's a wonderful schedule for you. I don't know about for the rest of the Jaguar Nation. They're going to have to make some choices, especially in today's economy. The Jaguar Nation is going to have to make some choices. You know, I don't expect a big group of us going to Fresno. I don't expect a big group. So the LA alumni are going to have to pick up the slack on that one, or the California alumni groups. But I think, you know, Atlanta, I think a bunch of people are going to go to Atlanta to kick off the season. And I think if you put Miami on the schedule, because that's not a place that we've been before, or it's been years if we have been there, that I can't remember if we've been there in my recent memory.
I
don't think we've been there, but I think a lot of people will be intrigued to spend Labor Day if in fact it is that weekend in Miami.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing about it, though, I think that if we go to Miami, it's people will know early enough to start making some plans as it relates to like travel and stuff like that. Because I mean, listen, we've had some weird travel schedules before, but let me tell you something: Atlanta and Miami. Oh yeah, you count me in. I'll Uber from here to the airport for 10. I will be at both.
God, I'm sorry.
No, matter of fact, we're gonna have fans. You gotta send Coach Melle and Uncle Flood to Miami to do a live.
we're gonna do a live show in Miami. In Atlanta and Miami. We want to do exactly a perfect to be a part of the action. Become a proud sponsor of Inside the Game. Come on and join us as we take it on the road for football season. Be a part of the action and become a sponsor of Inside the Game. You can scan, Cash App, whatever you need to do. Help us out.
Yeah, I mean, no, I think it's a great schedule. So I really hope that the reason that we're waiting is for the ink to dry on that conversation. Somebody mentioned in the comments earlier how we had that controversy where we were supposed to play Jackson State inside of Birmingham for those years. People started talking about it. It was released before it wasn't released, and then it ended up becoming this big thing as it relates to money issue or whatever, and then it didn't happen. So listen, if we holding out the away schedule for Miami, you have Coach Melle's 100% support athletic department. Just call me. Let me know. Let me know that's what we're doing. And I won't say nothing, but just let me know what we're doing.
Exactly. Paul D, what's happening, man?
The one, the only Paul D.
Yes, what's up, man? Good to have you on with us, brother.
Paul,
hope to run into you at the Super Bowl.
Paul watching the show, y'all, we made it. If Paul is on here out of his
Mama, we made it.
Mama, we really made it. No,
we need one of your clients on. Bring some of your people on. First we're gonna have you on, then we'll have your clients on.
Yeah. Shout out to Paul. Paul is great. Paul had me on his show back in the day when he was doing his Facebook show. It was a really good time. So shout out to Paul for being here. But no, Southern, if you are waiting on this athletic away schedule because we are going to Miami, listen, you have our full support. We will keep the notes down. We will keep the street committee down because you're sitting at the South Beach on Labor Day weekend. It doesn't get any better, Jaguar Nation. Like y'all complained about the schedule for years. If they solidify this, I'm gonna just
see. This is what I have to remind people. I know that these 3 weeks seem like they have been a year, but it's January. So if they're taking some time to sign the paperwork, it's January going into February. It's still very early in the year, and it gives you time to save and make adjustments and do the things that you need to do. I know this seems like, especially in South Louisiana, with everything that is going on, that it has been 6 months, but it's only been 3 weeks into the month of January. And, so just take a deep breath. We'll get it together. Hopefully they get all the paperwork signed, cross all the T's and dot all the I's, and let everybody know. And then we can start on our savings plan or whatever we need to do to make sure everybody's in Atlanta and Miami.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. And speaking of travel trips, and speaking of Southern Athletics, so baseball has been moved from Atlanta to Birmingham.
Good.
The question that I have for that is when we think about postseason play in the SWAC, and we think about the maneuvering of the tournaments and the championship games and the different things that we've done. So, for example, basketball this year has moved from Birmingham and is now going to be played in Atlanta. Baseball was in Atlanta and has been moved to Atlanta. Moved from Atlanta, is now being played in Birmingham. We know football is this ongoing on-campus situation. What do you think is the ideal situation that we should be in the SWAC as it relates to postseason play?
Honestly, I would like to see us play our basketball and football championships at one of the SWAC conferences, gymnasiums, but I know that that's not possible because eventually it's going to be a problem with the teams. I would prefer, Jackson, Baton Rouge, one of those places, Houston, one of those places, one of the largest cities in the conference. Even Montgomery, because I think that would draw a unique crowd and it would draw a new crowd in. I understand why they're going to Atlanta. I don't know how it works in terms of the crowd. Ideally, I would like to see all of our championships played on campus. I'm not one to go play in the NFL arenas and all of that. I would like to see all of our championships played on campus. I think that would be a unique thing. I think it puts people in the arenas, and I think it's a good feeling. I think it creates a great atmosphere for college athletics.
No, I think that's right. I loved when we played the SWAC championship in Houston football, but I have absolutely loved the on-campus idea of the championship. I'm looking forward to the day where Southern hosts a SWAC championship in Mumford, but Alcorn has been I've been to the championship. It's only been in Alcorn, Jackson State. Really, that's it. Mississippi,
Florida, Tallahassee.
Yeah, so I've been to all the Mississippi ones. By far, Alcorn had the best atmosphere to me for like the SWAC championship because of the intimacy of their stadium. But the on-campus atmosphere has been amazing. I remember, and this might, age me, but not really. But I remember when the SWAC basketball championship was at Southern, and it was amazing. The experience,
baseball also,
baseball as well. The atmosphere was great. So I too like the idea of on-campus postseason play. I'm looking forward to going to Atlanta for basketball. I plan on going for the entire week because I've been to Birmingham the last 3 or 4 years, and it's been amazing. I wish more people would come out because those are amazing tournaments. And the SWAC does a really good job of putting them on.
Yes.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to going to Atlanta. But I agree. I think the on-campus environment is probably the most bang for our buck as it relates to championships.
Yeah, and like I said, in terms of baseball, I'm going to be honest with you. I really don't get the move of baseball to Atlanta. I never got that. I never understood why they would do that and go play on another college campus when you could have played it on one of your school's college campus. And I think part of the issue is that SWAC athletic directors and coaches are going to have to, and maybe in the new generation, that it'll be more common sense. Because the reason that we don't play on campus is because you had all of the coaches and athletic directors fussing about it being some kind of advantage, or Southern would have an advantage, or this school would have, when in fact, this is about dollars and cents. So if you want people in the stands and you want to make money, you should be playing it on the college campuses and not in Atlanta or even Birmingham, which I the last time the tournament was in Birmingham, I was there at Rickwood Field, and it was a decent crowd. But it played late into the night on a Sunday night, so it was really only parents there. So if you play that game at Southern, or you play it in Jackson or Montgomery or somewhere, you're going to get a much bigger crowd, a much better atmosphere, and the field is yours to do what you need to do. I think they really make this more complicated than it has to be.
Yeah, I mean, because when you look at most of the smaller division conferences, every postseason situation is a rotating thing. Even basketball, like rotating between. And I think the atmosphere that we could create for basketball, like a weekend in Jackson, a weekend in Baton Rouge, a weekend in Long, like you could really create like I mean, the atmosphere. I love it. I just like sports, so I don't mind. But
Yes.
people like you could really create something unique and different for the SWAC if we brought. In baseball, I mean, because when the baseball tournament used to be at, I was about to say Tag Gormley, at the stadium in New Orleans, that was the best baseball
That's what I thought too.
Wesley Gorman, or whatever it's called.
Yes, yeah.
That was, I felt like I was like in Alex box every night. Like I'm talking about the fans are on top of the player. Like it's, it's like it's loud. The energy was crazy. You had a lot of community support from the youth leagues. The stadium was very intimate. So it was like people talking. No, I don't know. It should have stayed in New Orleans and never left New Orleans.
Well, you know what the coaches would complain because they would say it's hard to find reasonable hotel rates in New Orleans. But if they stayed in Metairie like most of the coaches were, then I mean you figure it out. And as a conference, I felt like too that was part of the conference. That was where the conference was supposed to kind of pull some strings and be like, okay, let us flex our muscle and get our team, at least get the teams a decent hotel rate in negotiations with the city.
Yeah. I think that could have happened. I think that just like I've seen all of the other mayors and all the other cities that we went to be very supportive. Shout out to Mayor Woodford in Birmingham in Alabama. Like he's super supportive of the conference from what I've seen on the outside looking in. So I think that could have been, to your point, a conversation around how do we make the best bang for our buck to keep it in the city. Like baseball in New Orleans, they should have never touched it. It was fans traveled like it's a destination city.
But I felt too.
It was they should have never touched. I would argue that in some cases that New Orleans could really be a centralized location. Move the offices here, like just have all.
And that's the way it used to be. And originally the SWAC office was here in New Orleans, and you would have the SWAC all championships would be between Tag Gormley, Wesley Barrow Field, or at Delgado Field, but eventually Wesley Barrow Field, where the championship was. The track championships would be there. So all of the spring sports championships would be in New Orleans. And it seemed like it was something that was working until, of course, when somebody doesn't win the championship and they think they should, somebody has an unfair advantage because it's played closer to them or whatever. So those are the type, it's petty things that have really held the SWAC back in terms of the spring sports like baseball or even basketball in the fall of being a winter sport that's held them back. It's been petty things from athletic directors and coaches that have really kept the SWAC from achieving the things that it should be achieving in those sports.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And we have a question says, do you think any away team would ever win the SWAC football championship in the current format? I mean, I think it's possible. I think that away teams have had opportunities to win. I think that 18, not so much us winning the SWAC championship, but I definitely thought 19 was our year. I was in the stands booking a trip to Atlanta. Like, what's up? Like, we're on our way. So I think it's possible. I do believe that the championship atmosphere at the home fields is the atmosphere that I look for in the SWAC every week. Like, I think that should be the atmosphere we have week to week. So I don't think it's like this incredible advantage because I mean we traveled to Alcorn both times. They were home, but like I think the atmosphere fit the thing. So I think an away team can. The hardest place to play, and I guess that can transition us into this question, in my opinion, and we talked about this on the show before. The hardest place to win in the SWAC is not the Vet. It's not Jack Spinks. It is Bragg Stadium. And I believe that their fans show up and people talk about FAMU and we don't like FAMU, but Bragg is the hardest place to play in the SWAC, period. In my opinion, into every season we have.
They pull out all of the stops. They are intimidating, they are loud, they are nasty, rude, all the things that an away game should be. That's what Bragg Stadium is. They don't give any kind of slack. They draw no quarter, and they do it right in terms of how their fan base and what they do. They make you uncomfortable, and you're supposed to be uncomfortable. We used to be that way. We used to be that way in Mumford Stadium. And now we're not. They don't accommodate the away fan, and I appreciate that.
No, they don't. I mean, literally, they put the team on the side where the students are. They put the band in a corner. Like it's literally all things. So I would say that FAMU has done an amazing job of creating an atmosphere of like true home field advantage. I think that we have work to do. And I mean, I'm in Mumford every week. And so I believe that this is our year to create the atmosphere of the crowd. Like, I believe the 12th man can make a difference in every stadium. And Bragg right now is the one that does it in a way that's unique to the SWAC. And I like it. I appreciate that. So shout out to FAMU for that. I'll give credit where credit is due, especially when it comes to fan participation, because y'all be coming out to be all cute and dressed up and outfits be looking crazy, and then you still don't want to cheer. Like, what's going on with all that? But no, so yeah, I mean, so many things happening in the SWAC around the conference. So shout out to y'all for engaging us in those conversations. Any other thing about the SWAC that you have for tonight? No.
No, I mean, just SWAC basketball is continuing, is looking good in terms of Southern men and women. So we want to follow that and get out and support it whenever you can. And if you could get an opportunity to attend the SWAC basketball tournament, go out there and do it. Go out to Birmingham and support it. Or Atlanta, I'm sorry. Go out to
Atlanta. Come on, keep it. Atlanta. Yeah. It's easy for travel. So it's March 12th through the 16th. You can fly into Atlanta. The arena is literally 2 blocks, so like a block away from the airport. So like people always complain about, it can't travel into this place. You can travel there, at least come for the championship, if nothing else. So yeah, March 12th through the 16th is basketball. March 21st through the 25th is baseball in Birmingham. So start to think about those things. Edwin just told us that the women are up 45-30. Continue that. Jaguars, good stuff. Shay asked about game colors. So game colors have not been released for the season yet, but I, Tramel Howard, am responsible for away game colors, and I can tell you that we will be wearing gold in Atlanta. So it'll be a gold rush in Atlanta for the first game of the season. So y'all heard it here first. Gold rush. I came prepared to let y'all know kind of the vibes. Gold rush. If we go to Miami, it's a whiteout. Period.
Definitely white. Definitely white. Go straight from the white party to the game. Go straight
like white party to the game.
And I want to remind everybody, KTTP 1100 AM in Alexandria is our partner in broadcast. You can hear us there at 9 o'clock every Saturday morning. You can catch us on YouTube. You can catch us on Facebook. You can also go to the Inside the Game website. I want to drive everybody, go to YouTube and like and subscribe. Drive those numbers over at YouTube for us, okay? So because we want to expand the platform, expand the brand. So go over to YouTube, like and subscribe, get the views up. So let's do that over at YouTube. But you can find us on all your social media platforms, here on Facebook, at the Inside the Game website. And of course, if for those people in Alexandria, you can listen to us on KTTP 1100 AM on Saturday morning. So catch it. It's Inside the Game with Coach Melle and Uncle Flood.
Yes. So yeah, we appreciate you guys again. Season 2, episode 2. There's a potential there. Yeah, I'm gonna hit you up on. There's some YouTube creator stuff that's happening during the Super Bowl that we've been invited to. So I'm really excited about that. So yeah, looking forward to an amazing Super Bowl. If you are here, if you see us in the streets, holler at us. We will see you in the Mini Dome on Thursday, in the Mini Dome on Saturday. Shout out to the Jukebox going to LA to represent. If you are in LA in the West Coast, still praying for LA with the fires, but make sure you go out and support the Jukebox. They will be performing Saturday. Glorilla will be performing at the Battle of the Band. So if you're in LA, West Coast Jags, lock in.
I love her. I love her. I just love her spirit. I love Glorilla.
Let her cook. Yeah, I love her too. I'm excited. I'm hoping that, if you got backstage passes for the Battle of the Fans, I'll let your boy. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. We really love this show. This came from a place of love for Southern, but it's since expanded to all of these things. And so it does not go unnoticed that it's because of you guys that we can literally come to you every week to talk about the things that we care about. Become a sponsor. A proud sponsor, get in the game. And we have a lot of surprising and exciting things coming in the next seasons and the next episodes, and a lot of great guests that will be coming on.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Some Unk is the plug is when it comes to these guests. So we're looking forward.
Lining them up. I got one that I gotta line up. If I can just nail it down, we're gonna have one of the biggest guests. We're gonna have a big guest.
Yeah,
we're gonna line it up. We're gonna have some very good guests coming on.
No, we all for it. Everyone, we thank you for missing your meeting to come spend time with us. We're gonna give you guys a few minutes of your time back tonight. But close us out like you always do.
I'll tell you what, if the man upstairs says the same, we'll be back at the same time in the same place. Because as always, we'll take you inside the game.
Peace. See y'all next week.